So here are my bits and bobs to make the bauble. I've got my 5 panels here and I've cut them all out and folded them all in half. Now it's up to you. You could make 5 different baubles using all purple, all red, etc, etc. So you've got a single colour, single pattern bauble going on. But for the sake of making the video, I'm going to mix them up as one multicoloured bauble. And as soon as I get my glue working, I'm going to start gluing these sections together. Whoops. So take your half, glue another half to it, and line up your edges and go all the way around like that, gluing the next half on. And I find it's easier to do that by opening the thing up so you've just got the 2 levels, the 2 layers going on, and you can slide that around a little bit until you get it to where it needs to be, and then close that up. I haven't been in my studio for a little while and I've missed the smell of this glue. It's one of those things you either love or you hate. I think it's alcohol based, so it smells a little bit like Sharpies or pear drops or something like that. So I'm going to go all the way around until I get to my very last one, which is this one. I haven't even noticed which order I'm doing these in. And like I say, if you wanted to do a 1 colour bauble and use 5 pieces of the same pattern all the way around, you can do that, or indeed anything else that you fancy with regards to how you arrange these pages. There we go, that'll do. Just line all those up as best you can. You can always trim if your cutting hasn't been dead accurate, which mine hasn't. You can always trim if you want to. Now for the hanger, I'm going to use a piece of waxed thread folded in half, and I've also got a bead here that I thought I'd thread on. If it'll go, it might be too thick actually. My wax cord might be a little bit too thick for this bead. Yeah, maybe we'll do without the bead. So here's my piece of waxed thread. Here's my tassel. So I'm going to just check first of all that they meet up nicely when I'm ready to glue the whole thing together, which they do. And I'm going to be quite generous with the glue I'm putting on this seam here, because I want the tassel and the hangy bit to sit nicely in the middle. So I'll just position that in there, giving myself a nice length inside for it to glue onto. Getting in a right old mess. And I'll put my tassel on down here. And then I'm going to bring all of this around after popping a little bit of glue on this side, on this final section. Yeah, that'll do. It looks as tatty as you like, but that's okay because all of this is going to be enclosed in this book form, really, that we're making. I'll get the glue off my fingers before I glue this bit together. And I can glue that last section together, and there's your finished bauble. And you want to make sure that all of your pieces for your spine are meeting, and that your tassel, if you're using a tassel, these were bought, gosh, I don't know, a pack of 100 I think from Amazon, and they weren't very much, £6 $7 or $8, but there's so many of them, I'll have them forever. So, and they come in lots of different colours. So that's it. That's the bauble complete. Would have been nice to have had a bead on there, or even a couple of beads down at the bottom there, which you could easily do, which I didn't do because I was too lazy to go back and look for a bead with the hole of the right diameter. And if you want to as well, which I'm going to, you can ink up your edges to hide any little white bits that you may have where your cutting isn't quite accurate, which it largely isn't going to be because we're humans. And there we are. That's my bauble complete with its 5 sections. Oh, that's going to look really good hanging up. So with my hearts, I think I'm going to make one long heart dangle. You can do all sorts of different things with them. You could make baubles in the same kind of way as we made this one, and if you could stick these into the inside of your journal onto a double page spread, and that then becomes a little flippy floppy openy insert. But with mine, I'm going to make one long decorative dangle, and I'm going to start by giving myself a hanger. So I'm just going to make a loop. There's my loop with a knot in it. And now I'm going to just stick my hearts back to back. You get 6 large hearts and 6 small hearts. Obviously you can print more pages if you want to and make as many of these as you want to make for whatever you want to use them for. But I've just printed out one sheet and putting my hearts back to back, and I'm going to glue them together with this little darling in between. I think I might thread a bead on there first, why not? Go for a smaller one. See if I can get that through those 2 pieces, which I know I can't, I knew I couldn't. It's a little bit shoddy just to chop that end off. I'd like to feed that through the bead really, but that'll be okay, that's fine. And then I'll decide which of my hearts is going to be first. I'm going to go with the small one first, and I'm going to glue those 2 pieces together. So I'll apply glue to one side, and it's nice to let your glue go tacky as well. I rather like that. So yeah, so that's all my pieces glued, or 6 of my pieces glued. So I'm just going to pull that taut, stick my other piece down on top, line them up, make sure this piece of thread is in the middle here. And that's looking pretty good. And now I need to make decisions about what I put where and next. I'm going to go for a slightly, go for a different bead. Let's go for this one, why not? And I was going to leave a longer dangle between my pieces, but now I'm seeing these with the beads on. I think I'm going to go up close and find my next pieces. I want a big one for this one, and I think it's this one here. So I want the blue on the other side, and which one is this? The cream can go on this side. I haven't put any time, which is a bit foolish, into deciding which piece is going to go where on the reverse of this. So I've got 2 blue there, which I wouldn't have chosen had I thought about it, but I didn't think about it because I'm only looking at this side. And then just pull that down a little bit so I've got a little bit of wiggle room there, and that all fits quite nicely. Thread in the middle there like that, and move on to the next one. Let's have a small pink bead just because I quite like these sparkly beads. I've had them forever. I used to do jewellery making at one point, but don't anymore because everything is about the junk journaling. And now, which two of these? Now these next two, I don't want that one. Let's have a look at which small one, the purple one, I guess. And what's this one? The pink and the purple. Don't want that one. It's going to have to be... I'm going to have to hurry up as well because my glue is drying. Stick those together. The problem is, of course, now that it's all gone tacky is that I've got no wiggle room. It's looking pretty cool. I'm going to have to either trim or get some ink on those edges. Let's get another bead. I'm going to get a little purple pearl. Now, pop that on. I'm going for another big one. I don't think I've got enough tack left on this glue. I'm going to have to re-glue here, folks. Which one am I doing? I'm going to go... Oh, I love that orange. I'm going to have that orange. Yeah, I'll go with the orange and the green for this one, I think. And I'm going to have to re-glue. I was a bit forwards thinking I could get it all done before that glue went tacky. Before that glue went dried, in fact. So line up your thread in the middle of your heart, pop your other heart on top. You need 3 pairs of hands. Well, 3 hands for this. You don't need 3 pairs. That'd be excessive, Emma. There we are. That's that. Next one now I'll go for... Is this my last bead? No, I do believe it is not. I'll go for this one, and then I'm going to go for the small heart. This is my last heart left. Oh, look, I've left myself with orange and that. That's not good, is it? You can put a bit more thought into where you're putting these hearts if you like. Getting a bit slapdash now. I'm home alone today and there's a million things I want to do. I probably won't do any of them. And one of those things is lighting the fire and sitting down in front of it. There. And now my last one, goodness knows, I don't know which pattern this is now. And now this one as well, I need to employ a tassel. I've got lots and lots of these, like I said. I love them. I really love them. You never quite know the quality of things, do you, until you get them, you know, when you order them like this. But this has worked out really, really well. And I love that coral colour. I think I'm going to use that one. Right, so this time I'm going to, let's put that through there and double that up there. Oh, I need a bead. I need one last bead on here. Let's go for... Lots of dust and fluff. Getting a bit gluey. There we are. And which side do I want to be on the front? I think I'm going to go... I'm going to have to go with the red, I think, on the front. I think. Or the pink. Pop my bead up there. Pop you there. I need to know I've got a lot of glue on this edge here for the string and the tassel. So I think I'll take that off. I think I'm going to just cut this down. There. Pop my tassel on. Pop my bit of string on. Employ the third hand that I don't have. And just put it together like that. It's not a problem. There we are. I did it. Nothing bad happened. That's my dangle. It won't come across very well on this bit of video, obviously, but it's going to hang up beautifully. I'm going to maybe trim these white areas here all around, just get rid of those, and maybe ink my edges. I have also got a beautiful gold pen, a thick gold pen somewhere. I could gold my edges, couldn't I? And let's see here, I've got quite a lot of white showing. Don't think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to trim this down. But I can do all of that off camera. You very much get the idea. There we are. I really am delighted with these folk arty boho designs. I've done them all by hand. And adapted them to make this kit for you, and I really love them. Right, this is paper chains, and I'm sure you don't need me to show you how to put paper chains together, but I'm going to have to dash ahead now because my glue is drying. I've put a bit of glue on the top half, 3/4 of an inch of these pieces. I've let it go tacky, and I'm just going to bring that round into a circle, and I'm going to keep on in that way. That's the wrong way around already. Going to keep on in that way all the way around. I've printed these sheets double-sided. The print isn't exactly lined up, but that's okay. That's fine. It's as near as anything. And I'm just going to, I'm not putting any thought into where I'm putting these, am I? Shall I do that now? That'll do fine. Or shall I just let it be completely random and let the dice fall where they may? I've only printed out one sheet here, obviously to make a length to go across a room. You're going to want more than this, but just for the purposes of showing you how to make paper chains, if you need that instruction. So I'm turning it upside down, popping it through, bringing this piece round and gluing, letting your glue go tacky. It works really well. Right, let's have a look what we've got. We've got a light green. Which colour should I have going next to the light green? And of course, because I've reverse printed it, I've got the same going on the inside as well. I've got patterns on the inside, which makes it look really cute. Really cute. Loving this. These are going to go in my kitchen. I tend to have paper chains in my kitchen and decorations all year round. We call it Little Mexico because it's so brightly coloured and decorated, and every now and again I think, oh, I'll take it all down and I'll go all minimalist, and so that's what I do. And then I can't stand it and they have to go back up again, or I have to make new ones because we live out in the countryside surrounded by nature, so things get dusty and cobwebby, and I've got lots of cats and you know. So there we go. There is one length of paper chains, which is actually quite long. I've gone off camera here. It's about 2 foot long, I guess, from one sheet of paper. So that looks really cool. There we are. So there's my 3 decorations. I've got my bauble. I've got my long dangly hearts, and I've got my paper chains. I might go ahead and make a little bit more of this so I can hang it in the kitchen. See you soon.